What did the teacher say?
I like how she is a really good leader, and she helps people when they're struggling with something. She helps them try to get through it and get a better grade and stuff.
I think Mrs. Jacquet is nice because she's always giving us grace and hope.
Well, one of the things I really love about Darcy, Mrs. Jacquet, is that she has such a heart for who the kids are right now, and does a lot of things to try to reach out to them, to try to make them feel welcome, to make them feel appreciated. With her runs to Starbucks or the extra things that she does so many extra things in the school with the candy sales and leadership things, just always working on behalf of the students. I especially saw that when we were in DC together. We had a blast, and it was lovely to be able to share a room with her and have so much fun. But also just the way she interacted with the kids and what her broad knowledge was even in history. I was so impressed, and it was the perfect situation for me to be able to work with such an accomplished and proficient teacher in that environment, but one who's not self-centered, one who is other-centered all the time.
Really, well, three things come to my mind immediately. One is, as a new teacher here, she came in and mentored me, and there was no formal role there, but she's always just been one of those teachers who has good advice in the classroom, how to work with kids, just different things. And I've just always really appreciated that about her. Second thing is just how I've just admired how selfless she is with her peers and students. I mean, students just love Mrs. Jacquet, and I've always just been a little envious of how she builds those relationships with the kids, and really look to that as, for me as a teacher, if I can duplicate that in some way and to some degree. And the third thing is her work ethic. She works harder than most every other teacher. She was not only going to school full time and teaching full time, but working with her family too. So I love you, Mrs. Jacquet. Appreciate all the things you've done for me over the years.
Mrs. Jacquet is the one on our team who has always created the cohesiveness that we have. For example, we often have to adjust our schedules. And so she's the one who can come up with a brand new schedule right out of her head. The rest of us are just like, I don't know who goes where. And frankly, there isn't anything that she isn't willing to do. And she has such a desire to serve the kids and her fellow teachers. For instance, just spur of the moment, I had something I had to do. I had to leave school early, and she gladly took my class. And it happens all the time. She's a rare individual.
I like how Ms. Jacquet is relatable to her students, and she shares stories about when she was in middle school and high school, and I think that is a good way to connect with students.
I like Miss Jacquet because she's always very encouraging to us, and she always gives us grace when on our homework and stuff.
Darcy is always willing to do just about anything, even when it's out of her comfort zone, to create culture and community. And she has done that since the time I've known her. One of the things I asked her to do that I know stretched her a little bit was when I asked her to be the star of the Fox parody. And she was so outstanding. She did such a spectacular job, and the students loved it. It was by far our best video. I think the other thing that I have so enjoyed about Mrs. Jacquet is she has the unique ability to bring humor in her classroom and into her classroom, and still be able to stay on track and teach students relevant content by using humor. And she shines in the classroom because of that rapport and because of the time she takes to intentionally know these students, understand their lives, and have a keen perspective from a middle school standpoint. Not many teachers can do that.
What did the teacher say?